Just finished my last CTU call shift and it was the craziest night. I did 5 consults, but I'm finally done. Before we came to Puerto Vallarta, I wasn't looking for adventure. I was looking for recovery. The kind of recovery that doesn't come from sleep alone, but from remembering who you are when the noise finally settles. I'd just come off of internal medicine CTU rotation, the kind that leaves your nervous system humming long after the pager is turned off. My busiest call shift yet, and in the weeks leading up to this trip, I felt distant from myself, as if I had slipped out of sync. My usual self-care rituals, journaling, exercise, moments of stillness, had all fallen by the wayside. In their place, just the basic human needs: food, sleep, and binging the White Lotus on the couch. This time, I didn't want to travel in the usual sense. I didn't want a full, pre-written itinerary. I didn't want to see everything, check everything off, or squeeze meaning out of every hour. I wanted to rest. We booked our flights, found a quiet Airbnb, and intentionally left everything else blank. No must-see lists, no restaurant reservations, no pressure. Just space to slow down, breathe again, and remember what it feels like to be human. Puerto Vallarta met us in that space. Our Airbnb was perched on a hill where the Sierra Madre Mountains meet the Pacific Ocean. The terrain was uneven and steep, the cobblestone streets sometimes unforgiving, but always leading to something breathtaking. Every evening, we made it a ritual to walk the Malecon and watch the sun dip below the horizon. The ocean, a sheet of light, the breeze, warm and soft against our skin. It was the kind of light that reminds you to look up. El Centro and Zona Romantica greeted us with whitewashed homes, terracotta roofs, cascading bougainvillea, and bursts of color from murals tucked into alleyway corners. Every street felt handcrafted, textured with history, culture, and care. It made me think that maybe slowing down is the only way to truly see the details. The architecture told stories. Mexican colonial blended with Spanish and indigenous influences. Vibrant flowers hung from wooden balconies like nature's confetti. There was something about this place, a sense of community, of connection to the land, of celebrating craftsmanship and nature. It invited you to be present. We took a boat across the Bay of Banderas, one of the largest natural bays in the Pacific. We passed Los Arcos, where birds circled the rocks like orbiting planets in space. I remember the way the sunlight danced on the water, the salt in my hair, the sand between my toes, the weight of being held by the sea. The bay stretched out horseshoe-shaped with lush vegetation as our backdrop. Every sensation felt vivid. These were the memories I wanted to ingrain with all my senses. Another day, we rode horses through the countryside, in silence. We were asked not to speak on our journey, but just to listen, and so we did. The clop of hooves on dry ground, the rustle of branches in the wind, the gentle babble of streams, the symphony of birds, the smell of soil, dry grass, and green leaves warmed by sun. The subtle rhythm of my body swaying with the movement of the horse, the leather reins against my palms. I ran through the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique in my mind, something I learned in my first year of psychiatry residency, labeling what I could see, hear, feel, smell, and taste, not to analyze it, but to remember it, to ingrain the memory into my body. Sometimes you have to stop and consciously label what you're experiencing in order to hold on to it. On our last full day, we stumbled into the art walk. I thought I knew Puerto Vallarta by then. I was wrong. Gallery after gallery pulled me deeper into other people's imaginations, their pain, their joy. We visited about 15 galleries according to the map, though some were unfortunately closed. Art became a mirror, and I remembered something Viktor Frankl once said. One of the meanings of life is to create. I used to think creativity was only for the artistically inclined, like how athletically inclined people play sports. Now I see it differently. To create is to translate your unique perspective into something tangible. And to do that, you have to look inward first, not outward. I've always wanted to find my own artistic style, and I realized I'd been looking outside for so long when I should have been looking within. I was glad I brought the book Man's Search for Meaning with me on this trip. It might seem like an odd vacation read, but it felt like exactly what I needed. During my 24-hour call shifts, I kept thinking, suffering feels more bearable when you can find meaning in it. I don't dare to compare residency to Frankl's experience, but as someone who wants to practice radical acceptance, I wanted to understand his thoughts and experiences and what I could learn from them. For the first time in a long time, I had space to journal. I opened my Essence journal and let the thoughts flow. I remembered how it feels to have room in my mind, to reflect, to ground, to feel inspired, to be fully present with the one I love. The biggest decisions we made all week were, what should we eat? Where should we go today? And even then, we could change our minds. There was no pressure to maximize our time, just permission to be. And in that simplicity, I found clarity. I was able to remember what it feels like to feel grounded, to have space in my mind to take in beautiful surroundings, to slow down, and to spend unrushed time with my loved one. It reminded me how, in the midst of our busy lives, we need to pause and feel like humans again. I'm grateful that I got to spend this whole week with my other half, my favorite person in the whole world. We both felt refreshed and recharged, ready to return to our real lives. This wasn't just a vacation, it was a return to myself, to the person I often forgot when I'm on autopilot, and to the truth that sometimes to feel whole again, we don't need more, we just need to pause.